Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. You guys probably seen the game yesterday. I was making a video yesterday, but I was tired, so I was asleep. But I seen the game yesterday. Timberwolves went out there and handled business. They went out there and dominated the Thunder like that. 143 to 101. And you look at basically all the stats and stuff. You kind of look at Thunder, they kind of got shut down. If you watch the game from start to finish, you see how the defense the Timberwolves played. Timberwolves kind of played the defense similar in game one. We already had the lead. It was up by like 15 points. At one point in game one, had a pretty good lead, and then they kind of, after halftime, they kind of like lost the lead and started playing a little different and stuff, started missing their shots. A lot of those threes, it was taking and stuff, it was just chunking them, and it was missing a lot of those shots, and they lost that game. The Thunder came back and won it. And then game two, the Thunder won that game as well. And then this time, we knew the Timberwolves back against the wall. You can't go down 3-0. So went out there and they handled business and they got things done. They played at basketball, they played in game one, but this time they executed and finished it throughout the whole entire game and just stayed on them. They stayed attacking the rim. Stayed attacking the rim, using the different mismatches as well, and attacking. If they averaged for 30 points, he got 30 points. Yeah, Julius Randle with 24 points as well. Everybody going out there, you got Naz Reid with 10, 12 from Alexander Walker. You got 15 from Shannon Jr., 11 from Miller. You got 10 from Daniels as well. So like you got multiple people, like 5 or 6 people in double digits like that. So most times when you have that, you go out there and win. And especially when your star players show up and go out there and ball out. So that was good to see the Timberwolves get back on track. I picked them to win the series. I feel like the Timberwolves, what happened last year, they fell short to the Mavericks and that stuff, getting beat down by the Mavericks. I feel like this year they're gonna come back with more vengeance, and they're back in the conference championship again. And right now they're down 1-2 right now, but they did win out. I get some momentum coming, and the next game will be back in Minnesota again. So you'll see probably if they can find a way to win this one. This is gonna be a tough game. Right? The last game was tough too, but I think this right here will be a tougher game because the Thunder looking like, oh, if we win this, we can take it back to OKC with a 3-1 lead and try to end it there. So the Timberwolves can find a way to win this game, tie it up 2-2. And then we'll see what happens. And this thing right here could lead to game 7. Definitely be game 7. You never know what could go on. Now let's move on next, of course, to the Pacers and the Knicks. The Knicks in the first game, they was up by what's that here? But the Knicks, they was up by a lot. It was up by a lot in that first game at one point. And then you look at the fourth quarter. Them going out there and just getting just messing up everything like that. See the Pacers hitting threes, wide open shots and stuff as well. Just going out there and just, I need to cut this mustache a little bit because I feel like the hair could get in my mouth. But the Pacers went out there and started hitting threes and stuff, including that three that Halliburton hit. Well, he thought it was a 3 at first, but then remember it was like deemed a 2, and then overtime they handled business. But the Knicks kind of blew that lead right there that first game. They blew that lead in the first game, and then the second game it came down to the wire again. We seen that late foul that Bronson did, of course, that sent who he sent to? He sent somebody to the line. I forgot who it was, but he sent somebody to the line and it hit the free throws, and then the game was kind of already out of whack a little bit in a sense as well, so they kind of messed themselves up. Especially that first game was a game they should have won. The second game, could have been tossed up between the two, but that first game they should have won. Second game, the Pacers came back. You see, Tyrese Halliburton, he started off slow in the first half and had 2 points in the first half, picked it up. Pascal Siakam had 39 points. In that game, in game 2, went out there and balled out. He played tremendous basketball. He was 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Everything, getting inside, getting what he wanted. Just basically out muscling them, out physicaling them, just playing aggressive. He's been a champion before. We've seen what he did with the Raptors, of course. He was helping Kyle Lowry and, of course, Kawhi Leonard, who was the Finals MVP of that series, go out there, contributing to that as well. But it'll be very interesting because now the Knicks, you're looking at like you're down 2-0. You was in New York. That was in New York too, Madison Square Garden. Now you got to go to Indianapolis or Indiana, where they play at. But you got to go there, of course, and you got to play the Pacers. And that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting because if you lose this next game, it's over. Because you're not gonna come back too often from 3-0. So it's over. So they have to find a way to win this game. I think the Knicks will probably win this next game. And I think this might go to game 7 too. I feel like it's starting off right now like a little bit like that. But I think it'll probably go to game 7. Tonight they're gonna have, of course, it's 7 o'clock they play. So I'm gonna probably have a video coming out, maybe a little short video or something like that discussing what happens after the game. But it's gonna be an interesting game to see what happens. But I was surprised to see the Pacers be up 2-0. I thought at least be tied 1-1. I had the Pacers winning the first one. Because you go into the game, you got to win that first one. The first one is always a game you got to win because like you had a momentum and teams trying to fill the series out. That first one is the best one to steal for the opposing team, the team that's away. But I was surprised they won the first one and the second one, and did it in dramatic fashion too as well. Sometimes those dramatic fashion wins can be heart crushing for the opposing team. So we'll see what happens with them. But the playoffs has been good. Who are making to the finals? Well, actually, any of these teams right here that make to the finals is gonna be first time guys. Well, actually, Never mind. I just know Pascal Siakam to the finals. But besides him, I think everybody else, like the other stars kind of been like the Thunder. I don't think they have any champions on their team, right? No champions on Thunders, no champions on the Timberwolves. The Pacers got, of course, Siakam. And then you look at the Knicks, no. So there'd be a lot of new champions. We're gonna see a lot of first-time champions, depending on what happens. But we gotta wait and see. Moving on, next topic, of course, discussing some of the NBA games. I believe the game, that was yesterday, right? I think. Yeah, the Liberty and the Fever game came down to the wire, of course. You looked at the numbers and stuff as well, and the Liberty stayed undefeated. A late foul that happened. They said that the foul that happened that kind of turned the tide of the game a little bit, and the Liberty ended up beating the Fever and winning. And the Fever dropped to 2-2. Liberty up 3-0 now on the season. You look at Sabrina Newskay had 23 points. Natasha Cloud with 16 points. Brianna Stewart with 16, which is not one of her best games, but still go out there and get it done. Then you got Jonquel Jones went out there putting up 26 points as well, like that. When you have, what was it, 4 players in double digits usually win. Like I mentioned with the Timberwolves thing, you usually have 4, 5, 6 players in double digits, especially if they're in the high teens, mid-teens, and high 20s. You usually win most of the time. So it's kind of tough to come back from that. Leah Boston did have 27 and 13, in that game. Caitlin Clark had 18 points, 10 assists in that game as well, but it was not enough. Lexi Hall with 15 it wasn't enough to defeat the Liberty, and they fall short a little bit. I think their next game is coming up soon. I know my Phoenix Mercury, we lost to the Seattle Storm by a little bit, by 7 points, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, by 7 points a couple of days ago. Even though we had the blowout victory against them in the opener, I think we're now 2-1. But we play the Mystics today, so that should be interesting. We got the Sky versus the Sparks today as well. Aces and Storm as well today. We also seen the Wings yesterday. They lost again. They 0-4. Yeah, they 0-4. I remember one point in the game, it looked better at the end. They lost 83-75, but at one point in the game, they was down by like 25 points. Like one point in the game, they was getting just dominated. I don't know what's going on. I was watching it. Enrique Wnba don't look like she usually look. I don't know if she's not hurt or anything, I don't think, but she's not playing as aggressive. The shots are not falling as well. The team seem out of whack. And that's why I mentioned last time, because I mentioned a lot of those Wings games before. I'm gonna go to some this year too as well. I usually go about to like 4 or 5 of them. Like I go to the ones that Mercury play. They play in June. I'm gonna go to the Mercury ones, of course, and then I go to some other random ones as well, like that. But I know my mom was a big time Dallas Wings fan, and she was mad that they fired the coach last year. The coach last year had her hands tied because the team was injured. Satu was injured. Enrique was the only person there. Yes, Satu injured. Natasha Howard was injured. All different people was injured. I think Maddie was injured as well. So they're missing a lot of the top players. But the year before that, she got them all the way. So did she have them, I think, 2 or 3 games shy of making the finals like that. And they fired her the following year with all the injuries happening. And then this year you look at the new coach and everything. It's not working out right now. Or if they 0-4, they're 0-4 right now. And then you look at the way they're getting beat and getting beat down and getting bullied throughout the entire game. They basically not in the game, and most of that stuff come at the end like garbage time. So I don't know what's going on with the Wings. They're not playing the same basketball they once was playing. Deuce Carrington only 5 points and 5 rebounds. You got Alyssa Smith for 13. Paige Buckers at 11. She had 11 in the first quarter, I think. The first half, I think, and she never really scored no more after that. And you look at Enrique, only 5 points. Like Enrique played 33 minutes with 5 points. Enrique Gunawale is one of the best scorers. So I don't know what's going on with them. They're like you see when you watch them, they in transition, they're not playing as well. They're not moving well. Everything just look bad. I don't know what's going on. Like I have no answer for that. Like I don't know what's happening to the Dallas Wings, but they gotta figure that out. They gotta fix that because you cannot be playing like that. You have all these different stars. You got multiple-time All-Star, 4-time All-Star Enrique. You got DJ Carrington, Alyssa Smith, Paige Buckers, the #1 pick. You got all these people and all these key pieces that you brought in, like to try to build a team that can go out there and compete for maybe a championship, and they just going out there and stinking it up. And so you gotta figure it out. Luckily it's early in the season, but you gotta figure it out and get it done. But we'll see what happens with them. Who else we discuss on here? Who else we discuss? I know the Aces, they won their game right there too. It's 2-1 right now. They beat the Mystics on Friday. I still feel like the Aces, they still a good team. They're a great team. Jackie Young did her thing, 25 points and stuff as well. Asia Wilson had a little lighter game, 15 points, 12 rebounds. But I still feel like, I don't know. I feel like the Aces are not as dominant as they once were. I know last year when they fell short of making the three-peat they tried to do, I feel like they lost Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum's a good player. They lost. Jewel Lloyd is cool, but she hasn't been playing too good this season to start the season. Now I know it's still early on. She only had 9 points on Friday, but she had been playing too good. And that first game wasn't the best either. So she kind of been like, I don't know, she's trying to find her footing a little bit better, but we know we've seen her decline a little bit when she was in LA a little bit. That's why, you know, they was kind of like get things done and mix things up. But hopefully she find her footing and get better as well. Cause she was with the not LA, but she was with the Seattle. She was at the Seattle Storm and stuff like that. But I don't know what's going on with some of the players. Some of the players, like, they feel like they maybe because the Olympics did happen. Now that did happen. Remember, like, we've seen some players in the NBA this season. Like remember like, I'm a Heat fan, so Bam Adebayo, when the Olympics happened, Bam Adebayo was not playing the same he was playing like last year. And then you start looking at as the season went on, then he started getting better and better and better. But early on, he was kind of a little sluggish. I don't know, because the Olympics, they play all those games in the playoffs and the Olympics, and they make you come out there sluggish a little bit in a sense to start the season off or something. I don't know, but you gotta figure it out and get things together. But that's all I have for today's video. Let me know down below what you guys think about everything, about the Pacers and Knicks matchup, about the Timberwolves and Thunder matchup, and about the NBA games as well. Who your top favorite team? I think the Liberty is still, in my opinion, is probably the top team still. The team to beat them and the Minnesota Lynx. Those are probably the top two teams. They might be going back to face each other again. You never know. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully our Mercury can step up and get up there as well. But that's all I have for this video, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace out.